The Internet. The Internet was the largest and most substantial technology we used. We used the Internet for the majority of the research, planning, and development. It was a massive impact on each stage. It helped us look into conventions to follow, such as looking at other skate films and documentaries. It also helped us get primary research using Google Docs and find inspiration for both the website and postcard. YouTube allowed us to look at other products and grasp inspiration for shots and storytelling. The Internet allowed me to research any information using the Google search engine. Social media. We created a range of social media outlets that were all displayed on our website with interactive links to all pages. We did primary research using Google Drive to create a questionnaire and collect the data. This was a great website that allows us to use the data in a table and also directly target our audience. This research helped us understand what social media sites our target audience used and what to post our film on and what to make sites for the film and production company. We ended up using Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Vimeo. For creating the website, we used Wix, which is a simple and free website builder. KBF had the main task of editing the website and had regular feedback on arrangements from me and Miles. This was a tool that none of us has used before. We started with a fresh page instead of a template to already stylize our product. There wasn't much of a guide on how to create the website, but KBF did an excellent job in creating a professional looking website for our film. I used the logo that I created on Photoshop on the film on the website, which was difficult to transfer across as it had a transparent background. It had to be saved as a PNG, not a JPEG. This means I had to go back and recreate the logo with a white background. Even though Wix was limited on what we could do, we managed to create a very clean website and reflected our inspiration of the symmetry. We only used Lightroom once for our product, but our past experience with software helped us fly through the editing and focus on the main film. Lightroom was the initial editing for the postcard image and was taken by myself and Miles in the desert. KBF edited the image, lowered exposure, increased contrast, and highlights. Also played with the shadows, lighting, blacks, and vibrance. Vibrance and saturation were increased in the postcard image to enhance the dreamy feel of the desert sunset. The image was then moved to Photoshop to further develop the image. Lighting was hugely used during the duration of our film, for both natural light and studio light. For example, during the interview, we wanted to add another light source so we could brighten, so we brought an LED constant light to illuminate Camel and assure he is exposed during the shoot at night. Since the background was well lit with the lighting from the school, it allowed us to create a cinematic bokeh look using a film lens and my 70D. Another use of light is we used it to set a tone. The narrative for the duration of the film was expressed via narration and also the vibe that the golden desert sunset brings. Light helps solidify our narrative and impact the viewer even more than the initial thought, especially during the end clips in the desert.
Over the course of our A2 portfolio, we made use of 3 cameras, a 7D, 60D, and 600D, in order to capture the required images and footage for our coursework. Filming skateboarding requires a good deal of patience due to the number of attempts the skater needs in order to land the trick. For this reason, we had to be certain that we could catch the trick when Camel succeeded, as these moments tend not to repeat themselves. We ensured that we would capture the trick by employing the use of different camera setups, filming different angles of the same trick simultaneously. This gave reassurance, as well as providing us with more options at the post-production stage, allowing us to employ continuity editing techniques such as match on action. After the use of cameras and lighting in the initial stage of production, we entered the post-production stage, where we employed the use of software such as Final Cut Pro, allowing us to edit the footage and sound, as well as make color corrections of the clips in order to attain the desired atmosphere. Final Cut proved to be an invaluable tool in editing the footage, as we had to lip sync the visuals of Camel during the interview with the audio. The trim tool made this a fairly straightforward task, as we were able to match up the sound waves of the two separate clips without difficulty. We made use of similar technique when matching up cuts between shots within the montages with the BPM of the soundtrack. We did this by listening through the track, marking every snare or second beat. We then lined up the cuts with these markers, which produced a smooth and cohesive editing effect, allowing the montages to flow much more smoothly. Final Cut Pro also features the capability to color correct footage through strengthening of certain hues and oversaturation. We employed this effect in order to match the color scheme of other products within our portfolio and achieve a reinforced sense of branding. In the post-production stage, Photoshop was also used extensively to create our other products. It was employed in the creation of the production and film logo, as well as the postcard. After researching conventions of film postcards within the same genre, we found that they often involved a good deal of digital image manipulation through various software. Due to our group's experience with this program, Photoshop was used to color correct the postcard image. This was achieved mainly through manipulation of color levels to emphasize warm colors, as well as the implementation of a gradient filter and increased saturation to complement this effect in the warm colors of our other products, generating a stronger sense of branding. It was also used to import the graphics, including the film awards and logos, which were also created through the use of the software, and the text overlaid onto the image.